Fine. Page 31, paragraph 1. Adventist home. If you're having a family and you don't have this book and you don't read it, I don't know what home you're raising. I'm not so sure. Because we are not just raising any home, we are raising Adventist homes. Homes that are preparing for the second coming of what? Of Christ. We are not raising SDA homes. No, we are raising Adventist. There's a difference. We are not raising SDA homes. We are raising Adventist homes. Homes preparing for the second coming of Christ. If you don't have that book, I don't know how else you manage your family. I have no idea. It's a book for everyone in the family, including the children. Make sure you get it from the table there. I think they have a few copies. Adventist home. Feed on it. You shall be blessed. Page 31, paragraph 1 says this. The mission of the home extends beyond its own members. The Christian home is to be an object lesson, illustrating the excellence of the true principles of life. Your home is an object lesson for the world. My home is an object lesson for the world. Our mission extends beyond our members. Paragraph 3 says this. It is no small matter for a family to stand as representatives of Jesus. Is no small matter. Keeping God's law in an unbelieving community. We are required to be living epistles known and read of all men. This position involves fearful responsibilities. Because it is no small matter. It's a serious matter. Paragraph 1. This is what we use in our family, Mokoro family. We are striving to be this kind of family. It says this. One well-ordered, well-disciplined family tells more in behalf of Christianity than all sermons that can be preached. Can I repeat that? You see all these sermons we have preached here since we came, you cannot compare them to one well-ordered, one well-disciplined family. Let me read it again. One well-ordered, well-disciplined family tells more in behalf of Christianity than all sermons that can be preached. So it means we might as well do away with sermons and just endeavor to order our families well. They will tell more in behalf of Christianity. Continues to paragraph 2. The greatest evidence of the power of Christianity. The greatest evidence. There are many evidences, but the greatest evidence of the power of Christianity that can be presented to the world is a well-ordered, well-disciplined family. This will recommend the truth as nothing else can, for it is a living witness of its practical power upon the heart. In the morning we said, who you are is more important than the Bible you carry. The last one, paragraph 3, page 32 says, the best test of Christianity of a home is the type of character begotten by its influence. actions speak louder than the most positive profession of godliness. Hey, hey. Action speaks louder than the most positive profession of godliness. It's not enough to profess godliness. Your action speaks louder. We can as well say that if we want to be successful in winning souls into the faith of Jesus, we don't need crusades. We don't need sermons. We don't even need books. We just need Adventist homes, well ordered, well disciplined. And we win the world. So talking of one well-ordered, well-disciplined family, on a scale of 1 to 5, how do you rate your family? Is it growing? Is it stagnated? Is it regressing? You know your family better than anyone else. Mimi sijui nyumba yenu. Mimi najua ya Mukoro bado iko mbaya mbovu. Tunajaribu tu. Tunang'ang'ana. Sijui kama wewe unang'ang'ana ama umefika ama unarudi nyuma ama umechoka ama unataka kumalizia hapo ama unataka kujitia kitanzi. I love the way families behave when guests are coming. When you know guests are coming. I tell you, if we could sustain our behavior when guests come to our homes, tunaenda mbinguni sisi wote. Hiyo siku hata mama anaongea pole pole. Sokoro, leta maji wageni wanawe. Siku zingine, we, nimesema ulete maji. Kuna ujinga mingi sana. Unafikiri? Tungekuwa venye wageni wanakujanga kwa nyumba. Hata chakula inabadilika. Hiyo siku hata mama anapika. Ndio wageni wapate impression mzuri kwamba kuna mama kwa hii nini. Siku zingine hajali. But it is so wrong to serve guests a good meal that you don't serve every day. It is so wrong. It's so wrong for a visitor to use the best bedding that on ordinary days your family members cannot use. It's so wrong. I'm learning something from a friend of mine. I'm not afraid to call her name here. She's called Mary Makanyengo. If you know Mary Makanyengo. Mary Makanyengo's house is an 8-star house. And I ask her, where do you get the strength? She says, I don't drink. The money I was supposed to use to rave and do alcohol, I use it to live well. And I don't need to wait for visitors to buy good serviettes. I don't need to wait for visitors to do charger plates. I don't need to wait for visitor to do. She has the best utensils, the best bed, the best mattress. Retain my sleeping place at Mary's. Because, she charges. When I'm not on mission, I sleep as a friend. When I'm on mission, you pay. Because, that's how she earns. She runs her house as an Airbnb, but she also has another one just close by. So you can choose to stay with her. Her food is, hey! Mary just has one child, but she cooks like she has 20 people in the house. Why? Even the guards at the gate eat her food. And she'll tell the house help, ulipatia masoja chakula. And it's not leftovers. Yawa, chimo maber. There's no English translation for that. Good food. When you're at Mary's, you don't want to leave. When you remember you're going to your house, you don't. I'm learning a few things from Mary. I'm saying, if you're not going to work for guests, you're working for your family. Just give them the best. Hii pesa mnaweka ya kuinvest, sijui mna invest nini, mimi sielewi. Just do the best. You don't wait for the company to organize for you a retreat in Mombasa to enjoy a 3-course. You can do a full course in your house. That is what makes home home. Children grow, they are married, but a month cannot end when they remember there is mommy's food that even my wife cannot. Twende tusalimie madhe. That is why it's called home. I've told you I'm learning from Mary. If you want her number, you can come and go spend a weekend there just to learn. A very kind woman. She will teach you lots of stuff. Lots of stuff. Mary's house, the utensils you use for breakfast, they will keep changing until you go, even if you spend there 2 weeks. And they are set on the table differently. And I ask, nguvu natoanga wapi? I said, this is how I have made heaven on earth. I think that is how the song goes. And to have a little heaven down here. So you keep saving your money. People come and borrow it from the bank to create wealth. You're saving. And you don't care about yourself. You don't love yourself. I'm learning so many things from this woman of God. Excellent. She does interior designs. So you want to furnish your new home, look for Mary. You wouldn't go wrong. You want deco, look for Mary. Curtains, look, she will do a superb job. I haven't seen any other person with an Adventist touch. I believe strongly, if the gospel you have cannot save your family, they are strangers to the Christ you're preaching, your family members. This gospel you have, it cannot save them. They don't even know the Christ you're preaching. That gospel does not qualify for exportation. Don't move it beyond your home. And so before you can, with excitement, think of involvement outside of the home confines, ask yourself if members of your family are acquainted with Christ. And if not, that means even if one is not acquainted with Christ, your involvement starts in your family. He left the 99 to look for one. Even when it's only one that is a bother, don't bother to go outside to labor in foreign lands. Concentrate on this one. It could be a spouse, it could be a son, it could be a daughter. Concentrate on that one, even if it takes forever. Concentrate. I'm making a foundational statement. It is an illegality to long to labor and be active in Christian work outside the home when our spouses and children are strangers to the Savior and His love. Illegal. So this involvement, where did the involvement thing go? It was somewhere there. You can't desire it, long for it, outside the home, when those in the home don't know Christ, don't know His love. In fact, they wonder what you're doing. is a problem I meet a number of times. Someone will come and tell you, Pastor, can I speak to you? Say, yes, you can. Say, you saw that elder that was doing announcements? That is my husband. Sio huyo mtu naona hapo. Sio huyo mtu naona hapo. Mimi ndio namjua. I want to take you through the book Christ's Object Lesson as we learn a few lessons. Chapter 15 is about the parable of the lost sheep, the lost coin, and the lost son. Of course, the lost sheep represents people who are lost. They know they are lost, but they cannot find their way back. The lost coin, people who are lost, they don't even know they're lost, so we can't talk about finding their way back. The lost son, they know they're lost. They know their way back home. And at times, even for spouses that leave their homes, I always tell people, don't struggle a lot. Just pray for him. I'm saying him because it is men that run away most of the time. Just pray for him. He will come back. Be very sure. Be very certain, because God is still on the throne. They will come back. What makes them come back? The Lord sets in operation influences to make sure they come back home. As you pray, the Spirit speaks to them. And one day, when he came back to his senses. Those guys, you don't need to bother them. Just pray for them and be sure they will come back, because the pigs will bring them back. Don't be bothered. They know where home is. They know. Zio, sasa anaendelea maisha huko na mwanamke mwingine, atarudi. There is only one covenant, spiritual covenant, that is recognized in heaven when it comes to marriage. Ngapi? Heaven does not know 2 or 3. Heaven only knows 1, because it only took 1 rib to make 1 woman. Only 1, and that is the wife of your youth. So these other ones that come to bother you in the name of mistresses, oh, my husband is now staying with another woman, oh, my husband, kiango is Zulu and English and Kikegusi at the same time. I call them passing cloud. That does not need to make you panic. It's like getting into a Range Rover Sport and the fuel you've put is 500 and you want to go to Muranga. It will move, yes, but only this far. But you panic. That thing will not go anywhere. Why? Not because they don't want it to go anywhere or you don't want it. It is because God has just said it cannot go anywhere. But you panic. You even want to die. And you're all over in the corridors of justice. I'm filing for just custody. I'm filing for child support. Let me tell you, when your husband gets lost, if your intention is for him to come back and pay rent, school fees, buy food, even heavens will not allow him to come back because you're selfish. But if your intention is my husband is getting lost, he's missing eternity, I want him back, Lord, heavens will assist you. Yeah. Sasa ninateseka. Kwani wamama wenye bwana yao walikufa si wanaishi? So that you learn, your provider is not your husband. Your provider is who? God. If your husband provides, is the role of a man in the family. But actually, the Lord has more than 1,000 ways to take care of your needs. of which you know nothing about. Ninateseka, nimechoka. Unachoka na ni watoto wako, kwani ni wajirani? I'm interested in the lost coin. Page 194, paragraph 1. The piece of silver was lost in the house. Assuming you know the parable. It was close at hand. It's just within the house. Yet it could be recovered only by diligent search. Hey, I love it. Iko tu. Sio kitu ya kuanza kutafuta juju. Inahitaji diligent what? Search. Have you prayed for your son to stop drinking for many years? They're not just stopping and you're like, when will he stop? It requires a diligent search. The search never stops. And even for those two parables, sheep and coin, the Bible says they looked for it until. The word is what? Until. Both it said of the sheep and of the coin. She looked for it until. So when you ask me, for how long, Pastor? Until. Mtafutaji hachoki. Wahenga, wacha sasa niongee Kiswahili. Wahenga walisema mtafutaji hachoki. Akichoka ashapata manade, kesha pata. The search never ends until. This is my thinking, and you've heard me preach somewhere. If we are waiting for the coming of Christ patiently, we don't even know when, but we believe he's coming. If truly you are patient with the coming of Christ, there is nothing in this world you cannot wait for. If you cannot wait for a job, or a spouse to come back, or a child to come back, it tells you even the second coming of Christ, you are deceiving yourself that you're waiting for him. We shall wait, even if it means we are waiting until Christ comes. Because when Christ comes, at least we shall have moved from better, from worse to better. That life would be bigger and great. But you guys are so impatient. Pastor, he has moved on. I also want to move on. How do I wait for someone who has moved on, has begun another family? In the matters of God, we don't move on. We move forward. We don't move on. We move what? Forward means it's adversity, but we must progress. We must prosper. He left you with the children very young. You will still have your children go through school, even without him, as you wait for him to come. He left you without a house. He had only put a foundation. He'll come back. He'll find you have furnished it. Because coming, he will come. Wanakujanga na kuhakikishia wanakujanga. Wanarudingi. This parable has a lesson to families. I love it. That's why I picked on it. White says this parable has a lesson to what? Families. In the household, there is often great carelessness concerning the souls of its members. Among their number may be one who is estranged from God, but how little anxiety is felt, lest in the family relationship there be lost one of God's entrusted gifts. I love it. Your wife, your husband is an entrusted gift. Your child is an entrusted gift. But how little anxiety anxiety we feel when they are lost. If anything, we say, Musacho moneno wate kibande. I don't care. He's a mature man with an ID. I don't care. Very little anxiety is felt. There are women who even give up on their own children. And they use the msemo wa Kiswahili, asiyefunzwa na mamaye, hufunzwa na ulimwengu. You're not shaken. And I normally ask, why do we get so excited when we go for a crusade, 5 million, 3 million crusade in another town, and we say we went to reach out to prostitutes and drunkards? Imagine tumeona mkono wa Bwana, tumebaptize prostitutes 10 na drunkards 20. Hey! Amjui nguvu ya Mungu. Na kuna drunkard kwa nyumba yako, kuna prostitute kwa nyumba yako, hawakusumbui kichwa. The coin, though lying among dust and rubbish, is a piece of silver still. Can I repeat it? The coin, yes, it's lying among the what? Dust and rubbish, but you need to remember it is still a piece of what? Silver. Its owner seeks it because it is of value. A sermon I have preached, lost but valuable. It lies in the dust, but it has value. So every soul, however degraded by sin, is in God's sight accounted precious. Every soul. As the coin bears the image and superscription of the reigning power, so man at his creation bore the image and superscription of God. And though now marred and dim through the influence of sin, the traces of this inscription remain upon every soul. God desires to recover that soul and to retrace upon it his own image in righteousness and holiness. Doesn't matter what you have in your household. I am here to tell you they are very valuable. Very valuable. They have done Bangi 7-10 years. I can assure you they are very what? Valuable. Lost in the house, but still valuable. God has a way of picking them, dusting them, polishing, and the result is better than the original. He has a way of doing it. And I think we will look at it tomorrow, what it means for Christ to take up our human nature.